All right, we are back from our break. I believe there has been some discussion on the questions, but I don't think that you guys have solidified on the questions that you want.
Do you know who killed you? And do you remember your last location?
What was
One
your last
would give.
location?
Well, yeah. What's
Alright,
the
hold
last
on a
place
second.
you remember, I suppose?
Alright, so.
It might be better what's the last thing you remember, because they could have been blindfolded.
Being stabbed in the back. That's how it'll be answered as.
Alright, so. What's the first question going to be?
Oh, does the spell even work?
Well, you don't know. I want to get the questions down first so that I can think about them while I'm describing out what happens, if anything. Besides, if you iron out the questions now and you find this, it doesn't work now, but it will with the skull.
Yeah. Do you know how you
Other people
can
chime in too. Like if someone else says something, Lafdul, you can say, "I like that question. That's what I'm going to go with."
Yeah. Who killed you? That's definite. Is there a better way of phrasing it? Who killed you? It's pretty evident. It would give a name, it would give an organization or something. That would be the answer. So that's one question.
They know it.
Yeah.
Should we ask?
Or he might
who
say
they
like
are?
an elf or a group of people, or.
Well, they might say,
No,
I don't
that'll
know.
be entailed in the answer. He will give, to the best of his knowledge, an answer.
No, I meant who they are, who the dead person is. Since we're only assuming it's.
Oh, if I get someone else, then I would just cancel the spell, I guess. Well, I don't know.
When you ask them questions, can you tell them something? Not ask that to let them know that we're on their side.
Although generally, it depends on the type of question. If you're asking where you've hidden your treasure, they're gonna know that you're trying to rob them, so they're not gonna answer. They can refuse that type of question. It depends on your intent.
I don't mean that. I mean, could you say we came looking for you and we're hoping to find you, hoping to rescue you?
But you can't phrase it like a question, though.
No, I know, but can you say something like that, or does it count as burning up a question? Before asking the question.
You can say a brief thing, but whether they understand is another question.
Right.
If it's not too long, then it wouldn't take up the questions. But you only get 2 questions in the one round.
Yeah.
Okay, so does anyone think that who killed you is bad or is unlikely to get a result that you like?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
Perfectly reasonable. So, what was your last memory? No, not last. What do you remember last? No, that'll be being killed.
What do you remember last before being killed?
What were you doing before you were killed? Or not what you were doing, where were you? Because the where is more important than the what.
What's the last place you remember being?
Yeah.
Where was the last place you remember being? All right.
Yeah, those 2 questions.
Can we ask a question that they would be able to answer more complex information?
They can give brief but complex answers if they want. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be yes or no. Yes or no just oftentimes is the easiest and the clearest.
Basically, it's the time limit that's limiting us.
So could you say, tell us about when you were killed, instead of who killed you?
I mean, you could.
But would they have a concept of a time in the afterlife?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they act the same as if they were alive for that purpose.
Well, would that allow them to tell us more information about when they were killed than just who did it?
Maybe.
What was the question you were going to suggest?
I'm suggesting tell us about when you were killed.
That's really broad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they're friendly, do you think that might allow them to tell us anything that they think?
I don't think that'll matter. I don't think it's a...
Well, I know before the hostile people were allowed to try to subvert.
Yeah, because they were unfriendly to me.
Yeah, and this
that
person
was innately.
So I'm wondering if they are friendly. If giving them a broad question will allow them to give any information that they think is relevant.
It's still going to be fairly brief answers.
Yeah.
But it could. I mean, I'll say that it is a possibility.
Is it possible for me to distinguish of whether or not the spell has worked, but it's beyond my power due to the time restriction? As in, the spell would have worked if I was higher level. As opposed to the spell just failing because there's
not enough remains.
Is there enough to get a distinction between the two?
I will say yes. I'll say yes, because, like, I would say that if there aren't enough remains, then you would get no sense of summoning anything, because basically the spell doesn't know what spirit to summon. Whereas if it's too old, you would get the sense of it attempting to summon.
But it's beyond my ability.
Yeah. So I'll go with that. It doesn't specifically say that, but...
yeah, no. There's interpretation of how something would work.
So, I mean, Braxon did suggest tell us about when you were killed versus who killed you.
Mm.
Is there any thoughts on you guys between those two? Or even swapping out the other one?
Because he might just have to summarize into what he was doing and not giving us any information about how he died.
I think the more direct the question, probably the better.
Yeah.
Okay, so stick with who killed you?
Yeah, that's going to be... It's going to give us a lead. Almost certainly. I mean, unless he doesn't know. He just died from poison. Something.
Okay,
it
so
happens.
we go with who killed you, and then what's the last place you remember? Everyone good with that?
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright, so you return to the ship, and you lay out the bones again, and get your... Yep.
Those bones, are there any duplicates? As in...
Like
am I guessing like more than...
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Give me a healing check.
I mean, other people can pitch in with us.
I could help in this also.
You don't see any duplicates. At least none that are obvious. It's a little bit hard to tell whether you might have a duplicate, spine. Spine bones kind of thing, or duplicate ribs.
Well,
since you're not an anatomist. But there are definitely no duplicate limb bones.
Alright, alright, I'll hope that my spell might work.
Okay. So, I took a look at the spell description, and it does specifically say, portion thereof.
Oh.
Why does it say that?
The priest needs a holy symbol and burning incense in order to cast a spell upon the body, remains, or a portion thereof. The remains are not expended. Spell does not function underwater. I think I would probably still limit it to not working on a single finger bone, or a single hair.
It's going to take the majority of whoever this corpse or is.
Or a significant portion of it. I don't know if it comes up later. I already gave you numbers on how much you found. So you invoke the spell, and a transparent form of a human rises before you. He has dark hair. And there is clearly a pained expression on his face. And he says, "Yes, what is it? Who questions me?"
I do. Who killed you?
The teeth ripping. The pain. It's so great. I feel them, even now, tearing me apart. Oh, I was alive when. He kind of trails off and giving pain sounds.
Trying to remember what the other question was.
What's the last place you remember?
What's the last place you remember?
It was underground, stone all around me before they tearing me apart with teeth and claws. The pain is so great. And then there's kind of a sigh of relief as his spirit dissipates before you.
Lafdul will offer up a prayer as he's cast it, trying to give passage to the dead.
Looks like something in the underbell again.
Teeth and claws. Was he killed by a Nelchiev? Yug? I keep getting that name wrong.
They do not have any claws.
Oh.
What was the hair color of the man you were looking for? She asks, Lafdul.
I've got it in my description. Hang on. This person was Antaxis. Dark hair.
All right.
He was a human. Did he vaguely look like a human with dark hair?
He was definitely a human, and he definitely had dark hair. I will point out that both Antaxos and Yusian have dark hair and are humans.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was hoping perhaps the other person had blonde hair or something, so we could easily tell.
Well, we could have brought his sister along, but I don't know how disturbed she would have been seeing this.
Yeah, I don't wanna. Here's your dead brother.
Does
Hugo interrupts the questions. It's like,
Does anyone have artistic ability related to painting or drawing or anything like that?
Painting and draw.
Braxon doesn't.
Nope.
No.
Okay.
The closest I have is forgery, if you'll let me roll with that.
No. Not quite.
Oh, this courier doing forgery. What's going on?
Sometimes you have to get into
perfectly legit.
I'm asking the TM as not a character.
Sometimes you have to get into places that you're not supposed to be to deliver your messages.
Yep.
Well, why give the courier the message then? They can't get in.
Because it's going to be delivered.
But you did find the item that the other person had in the same pile.
Yes, it worked. I could probably do it for your sister. And the same with that person, Caden, as well. That
so something
Caden
has
was a
been
blonde half
eating
elf.
these.
yeah.
So something has been kidnapping and eating people.
Wasn't there some gift that recently killed a monster?
Yes, we should investigate that actually, because
But they jettisoned that monster. It shouldn't be on Bral anymore.
yeah, but the Giff will have stories. They like their stories.
Just how long ago was that?
I don't recall.
Yeah, I don't recall either.
Higgimus, give me an intelligence check.
Oh boy.
No, wisdom's your worst stat.
I know.
I should have had you roll that.
Oh wow. Wouldn't matter.
You think about it, and that was about a month ago, as you understand it.
Oh, that was about a month ago.
Oh wow, really?
I think it might be worth us talking to Deroth and asking, letting them know there's something in the underbrow and asking if we can have permission to reopen that walled-off entrance.
There's probably
might be another entrance.
There are rumored to be dozens and dozens and dozens of entrances, so that
Perhaps the watch can let us know if there's any that are known entrances we can explore.
Also, that could also just be a basement.
That's true.
I think it would also still be worth talking to Silverhair.
Yes.
we can track it down.
If she hasn't disappeared as well.
Good point. Alright, should we pass on the unfortunate news? Because from the spell warrant, he's definitely dead. And I've seen the remains.
But are you sure that was in Taxos?
Reasonably.
Oh, it's up to you.
How about Northeric? Can he draw?
No.
Draw?
No, he can't. And he didn't see summoning
No,
anyway.
but we could describe and. Okay.
Yeah, and they had a load of stone walls where he died anyway.
My question about drawing was that if someone had something related to that, you could sketch out what the spirit looked like and then go to the sister and say, is this him? And she could say yes, and then you would say, oh, then yeah, I'm sorry to tell you he's dead.
Yeah.
Was there anything particularly identifying that we would have been able to see from the spirit?
Not really. You didn't notice
No,
any
just-
obvious like birthmarks or anything like that. And he was
It's all
kind of
gonna be
hazy
hazed
and stuff
out.
like that. Yeah.
Oh, did he look anything like the painting? I know the painting was a woman.
The painting was a woman, and I mean they both had dark hair.
I think there being is there any like family resemblance, like the same chin or
Maybe, but not enough for you to be confident about.
Next time we'll have to bring a person along who knows someone if we do the spell again.
Yes,
Or if you do the spell again.
bring a sketch artist, traumatize them.
a crime scene sketch artist. They'll be fine with it.
All right, so what do you want to do now? It's probably at this point a little bit past midday. Lafdul's still a
wondering-
little ripe.
Lafdul wants to have a bath for like the next hour or so.
Yeah, you
he's
should
got-
do that.
I'm wondering whether it's worth talking to Deroth. Because we know this is at least this is a murder.
And plus, that'll give me an excuse to get to the Fierce Guild as well.
Okay, so you guys want to split up?
I should
Yeah.
probably tell my cousin that this might be a murder situation so that she can inform the guards.
Well, Duroff
she in
was
the
a
watch?
watch sergeant.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
I think he was in the lower watch.
Yeah, then I'll head there too.
Is your sister in the lower watch or the middle watch?
She's in the Low City Watch.
Right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, she's basically just a member of the guard as opposed to ranking,
Right.
having any rank.
Well, if we see both of them, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right.
Cousin
So
and sister.
does everyone want to? Everyone except Lafdul want to go to the watch?
I think I'll follow. Suggested I'll follow up on leads for Silverhair.
Okay. All right. anyone want to go with Sinray if she will have others?
I will tap others if they will come.
Lafdul's going to a bath, so.
Well, I doubt
He's looking forward to it.
everyone needs to go with to visit the car, so I could go with Sinray.
Okay.
Alright.
Lafdul says he'll head back to the office in like a couple of hours. Or an hour, however long it takes. I don't know.
Is that where we're all going to meet up?
Oh, I assume after you've done your questioning, you're going to head back there. Because I've got to meet up with you, and I'm not going to know where you're going to go, so I'd say in like an hour I'll meet back up with you.
Okay.
Or an hour to 2 hours, something like that.
All right.
I do think looking for silver hair is a good idea.
All right, let's make it so.
Okay, so, Higgimus, you head over to the watch with Braxon, Ockar, and Leva, unless some of you are staying behind. Any of you are staying behind? And if you don't say that you are, then I'm going to assume not.
I'm going.
Okay. So you guys go to the watch and find Duroth. He is still a sergeant. And when you arrive, he is still the contact for adventurers who need business, who have business with the watch. For those wondering, again, the watch is the Low City Watch is this building here, 130.
Okay.
So you he's behind his desk. He looks up, says yes, and then after a moment of recognition, "Oh yes, I remember you. It's been some time since I saw you."
We have some information about the people that have been disappearing recently.
Oh, you do? Do you? Well, I'd be happy to take it down if you have some news to share, information to share. What is it you've discovered?
Well, we found.
Do you want to discuss it privately or just on the desk?
Yeah, we should probably discuss it privately.
You mean before talking to him?
No. Should we discuss it with Duroth in an office rather than at the desk?
Are we in his office?
He does not have an office.
Right. Okay.
So, we found a body.
Yeah, in the leading Jefferson.
And we used magic to speak with its spirit. And based on what it told us, it seems that it had been murdered, and it was one of the people that had gone missing.
Mm.
Do you know which of the
As
people...
if something was tearing it apart and trying to eat him.
Which of the missing persons is this body? Does this body belong to?
We're not 100% sure, but we think it's what was that name again?
Antaxis.
Antaxis.
Yeah, we went looking for information on Antaxis, and we found that he has a copper brooch, which is a family heirloom that looks like a ladybug.
Okay, he's taking notes on a slate while you're giving him this information.
Our colleague Lafdul used a magic spell for locating ladybug brooches, and that was the first and only one we found.
That spell must come in really handy when you've lost all the ladybug brooches that everyone has.
Yeah. So I believe Antaxis said that they were under the ground and they were set upon by some sort of monsters with big teeth.
Now, did the spirit, I guess, say whether this was stonework or natural stone? Did it sound like a basement or a cavern?
We didn't get much more out of him, but I'm wondering if there's another monster underground somewhere on Bral, like there was before.
It could be. The tunnels that you discovered before, those are still blocked up. We still have patrols visiting them.
So no one's got to the entrance because you're checking it.
Nothing's coming out of there. But I mean, the thieves themselves likely have tunnels throughout. Using those tunnels themselves and stuff like that. It's hard to say how many entrances and exits there are. Could be dozens. But we'll certainly step up our patrols. And where did you say that the body was found?
It was in the leading jettison.
Yes. We'll have to have a talk with them again. The Oatdugs, they have a tendency to take deals for discarding things that should not be discarded.
From what I understand, the body had been dismembered before he got to them, so they might not recognise it as a body. They don't seem to look much like us.
Yeah, I don't know much about them myself, but I'll definitely pass this on to the commander.
I'm guessing that a creature with 3 legs wouldn't really be able to tell much about. Wouldn't be able to tell the difference between an elf and a human.
Yeah, perhaps.
They were chopped up.
Perhaps.
I'm
yes?
wondering if we've got some other leads to follow up, but I'm wondering if they dry up, whether you would know of some entrances into the Underbrow.
Well,
so we can go exploring if necessary.
Any that are discovered. Obviously, there are some tunnels leading to the underside used by the Royal Guards and Navy and the like.
I assume they're well patrolled, though.
Yes, and we do not know of any active open access points. We make it a point to block them up as we discover them.
Okay.
But should we come across any, you still have that office, that shop?
Yes.
I could send a runner by and let you know if we discover anything of the sort.
Yeah, we'd appreciate a chance to look around before you seal it up.
Yeah, let me just check something. He rifles through some papers. And Taxos, you said. I don't actually have a record of him being missing. It's possible he was not reported, however.
From what I know, he was last at the Hawthorne Theatre 5 days ago.
Yeah, I don't have any.
6 or 7 now.
Don't have any information about that. But thank you. We'll do a follow-up.
We're looking for some other missing people as well. Maybe we should compare notes.
Well, I mean, you can give me the names.
We've been told there's 10 men and 4 women missing.
I don't have quite that many.
That doesn't tell you what you got.
No, but, not everyone reports them missing. Sometimes people keep it to themselves. Sometimes they suspect something with the Yakuza or the Red Masks or something like that, and they don't want the Watch to get involved lest there'd be some sort of reprisal, so it could be of that nature.
Okay, well, we're also looking for a half-elf called Caden. Who went missing at the Raise Cup 9 days ago.
Don't have him on my list.
Right. Might want to add him.
Well, we'll keep that in mind.
And there's someone called Ucian.
Don't have him either.
He went missing 8 days ago, probably 9 now.
Alright, well, we'll do some follow-ups.
Yeah, I think we should compile our information and come down and compare it all. Just in case anyone you've got missing isn't on our list.
I mean, you understand, we can't give away details about active investigations.
True.
But, I'd be more than happy to take any information that you do have and share it with our investigators.
Okay. That sounds good.
All right, thank you very much. Is there anything further?
Not that I can think of at the moment, but if we get any more information, we'll...
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. So are you guys going to head back to the shop now, or was there something else that you wanted to do? like on the way, or another stop that you wanted to make, or anything like that?
Nothing I'm aware of.
Okay.
Is there anyone that sells durian fruit?
Maybe. I don't know why you're asking.
Because it's fruit that stinks.
Oh. I've never actually had any, so I mean, yeah, there probably is.
I believe it's the most smelly fruit in the world.
Right. So why do you want this? I mean, other than
we need to pay the people for the body.
Yeah, it would be perfect for that. It smells like decomposing
Didn't
meat.
we already take care of that?
but it's not actually decomposing.
No,
Yeah,
it's a
that's
fruit.
Why?
Yeah, but
Fruit
it's
itself tastes better.
not-
Not to something that's a sapper for.
They like rotting stuff, not fresh stuff that just smells bad.
It's perfume for them.
But you can still get some. You don't know.
I don't know how it tastes. We bought it and then we threw it away.
Okay, so Lafdul, you get a bath. Get yourself nice and scrubbed clean. Would you have just gone to your inn, or would you have like gone to a bathhouse?
In.
Okay. So I'll figure out how much that charge is later. But so you get nice and clean. You use some scented soap, so that that took care of the smell problem.
Anything that'll help, basically.
Yep. Yeah. You're thinking about like soaking in lye, but you kind of decided not to. All right, so you make your way to the Thieves Guild, I think you said.
Yeah,
Afterwards.
I'm going to report in.
Okay.
That potentially found and Taxus dead.
All right. Are you gonna go straight down and either talk to Samara or Atalia?
I'll speak to Atalia first.
Okay. So you give her the news, and she curses a bit. No record of no information about any of the others, or Woolreth or Melrana.
Not on those two, no. I tried to ask about where Antaxus potentially died. Being like underneath some like underground caverns. Like, I've been out of town for a while. Are there like any tunnels that we could access? I could access, maybe. I'm not likely to tell the rest of my party.
I mean, we keep our tunnels pretty clear, but the Red Masks have tunnels, the Halflings have tunnels, the Halflings have tons of tunnels, the Yakuza probably have tunnels, the Illithids probably have tunnels. There are tunnels all over the place. There's nothing nasty in any of our tunnels, though. I mean, you're underground right now, so
Yeah.
the Thieves Guild is underground.
Was
Literally.
there any reports of being attacked by creatures that claw or bite?
No.
Even like flayed people?
So
Flayed, chewed them, bitten them to death?
I did hear about something that some Giff killed in Yakuza
Yeah, we've
territory.
We heard that as well.
So
That's another lead we're going to investigate up at some point.
So you don't believe that the Red Masks were involved? Are you ruling them out?
I don't
at least
know.
for this.
For this person, he might have been killed by... I mean, he might have been captured and released to monsters to kill him.
Yeah. They haven't
I
used
mean-
anything like that, and knowing them, they probably would have, but I suppose they could be holding it in reserve. Alright, well, I do thank you for checking in. This will
I
help.
wonder if it's a displacer base. Do you know if they use displacer base? Because they got like flaily things.
I mean, like, we've never known the Red Masks to use any sorts of monsters, but who knows what they could have gotten their hands on. We certainly
Maybe.
don't.
Maybe I need to investigate about exotic animals or monsters that have recently come in the last month. Could be a lead.
It could be. Thank you for informing me. I don't have any more
I don't know
information
if-
for you, unfortunately.
I don't know for certain, but it's pretty reasonable that it is Antaxus that I spoke to. Like, yeah. I mean, if he doesn't show up after a few more days, then we'll just put it down as confirmed dead.
I understand. It is a blow. The troop will not be happy about it either.
Regarding, there was this Caden. Was it Caden or was it the other guy? I forgot now. I might check my notes.
Which one are you? The one with memory or not?
Yeah, the one with the memory.
That's Usian.
There's recently, regarding Usian, there's a bit of information regarding him. We've recently encountered another investigator that's joining us that, she knew him. He was apparently going to be a courier. He was last seen at the Fortunate Prisoner.
Yeah, sometimes the more adventurous members of the guilds take on jobs like that. It is unfortunate, but it is known. We have a pretty good relation with the Couriers Guild. I believe their main headquarters are out of Refuge.
Yeah. So I name dropped the person that I know it's joined the party. I asked, do you know of Sinray?
Name's not familiar, but
She
I haven't
says she's a courier.
Yeah, I haven't had call to deal with couriers of late.
Alright, alright, we're just going to chase up on these two leads. We seem to be making progress, so.
Oh, indeed. Thank you for the updates, and thank you for the frequent updates. Juggler will be
hopefully
most
we'll find
pleased.
Warif and Arana.
Okay, so you take your leave?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. Yep. Do you have something else?
Probably would have passed on the information to Samara in case she has any information.
Yeah, unfortunately she doesn't have any information unless there's a specific question that you wanted to ask her.
No.
Okay.
Not right now.
Alright, so Sinray and Solus, you are going to try and gather more information about this elf named Silverhair?
Yes.
Okay.
My first thought would be, is there a Bard's Guild in the city?
There is not.
Is there would I know of any place that bards tend to gather to socialize in large groups?
Not really. Those who are resident on Bral, either, depending on what their main interests are, favor, just playing the rounds of the various taverns and inns. And there are more taverns on the map than those that I've labeled. The labeled ones are the prominent ones that have been around for a long time. Oftentimes there are taverns that will spring up for 6 months to a year, and then they go bust. They can't make it work, kind of thing, or other things happen. So they just go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. So, is there any particular tavern that would be considered more prestigious for a bard to play at than the others? Would I know that information?
There is an inn in the High City. There is also a playhouse in the High City. In the actual wealthy, rich people section. Those would be the most prominent places, but they're also the most exclusive. There are also a number of playhouses throughout the city itself.
Probably the best would just to actually be, I would suggest that we double back to the Fortunate Prisoner and go from there asking at different taverns to see if perhaps we can find out where her lodgings are.
Okay.
And go from there.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Fortunate prisoner is right here. Unless, of course, there we go. I always forget which button it is that moves you. So it's 64.
Mm-hmm.
That was the right button.
What?
That was the right button. It moved us.
Well, I did it twice.
Right.
The fortunate prisoner is so named because it is close to 65, the donjon, which is, where they lock up people who aren't sent to, their crimes are not of the sort that would require them to take to do manual labor or be executed.
When we get there, I'm going to approach the innkeeper or the barkeeper.
Okay. It's
Are there anyone playing at the moment in there?
Good question.
there is a jester type character. He's currently juggling knives. He's not a gnome. Looks to be a half elf or a human, you'd guess. He's got makeup and a funny hat on, stuff like that, and he's telling jokes as he's doing it. Seems reasonable. I mean, nothing. No complaints about it. He's seems pretty skilled. And the tavern goers who are watching and are laughing along with his jokes and stuff like that. But it is pretty busy. It's afternoon, so a lot of people getting off work have started to come by.
Well, I'll go mingle with the other customers and asking them questions if they know about Silverhair, and look for the opportunity when that juggler will have a break.
Okay.
I will get the barkeep's attention and slip him a coin and ask for a moment of his time to ask some questions about a musician they had.
Okay, what kind of coin?
I'll go with the gold piece since I want him to spill a little bit.
You have his attention. Oh, yes. What can I do for you?
Yes, sorry, I know it's a busy time. I actually have some questions about a elven musician named Silverhair that played here.
Oh, yes, Levalithana. She's been here a couple times.
Ah, I
see. Fine singer. Always brings in the crowds.
When was she here last?
Ooh, let's see. What was that? Going on 8 days ago, I think. 9, maybe, something like that. I really wish she'd come back. It makes a big difference in getting the crowds when word gets out that she's playing here.
Do you hire her on, or does she just show up?
She just shows up. I've heard from some of the other taverns and inns around that she does much the same with them.
All right, I was hoping to be able to hire her for something. Would you know how I'd be able to get in contact with her?
Well, just listen in on the street, see what people are saying. Word gets around. I think she has a regular thing. What was it? You girl! He calls over one of the barmaids. Yeah, we had a customer in a few days ago saying that Levalithana's been playing regularly someplace. Do you know where it is? Oh, where was that? It's one of the theaters. I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Thank you. I will try to follow up some other leads. I was really hoping to hire her, so if she comes in, I give the address for Higgimus's shop. Do let somebody know there. There would be a little bit of coin in it for you for passing that information along for me.
You're giving that to the tavern keeper?
Yes.
Oh, I'll be more than happy to pass that information on if we get it.
Thank you very much. And I go off to find
Solus.
yes, Solus.
All right, Solus. What kind of questions were you asking?
I'm basically in the middle of a small chat with the customers, asking if they have heard about the Silverhair, bard called Silverhair.
They definitely have. And when you bring it up, she tends to get rave reviews from most of the people that you talk to. And it sounds like a number of the patrons have seen her play multiple times. And some of them make well, hold on. Some of them make kind of a joke about that. It almost seems like it's a game trying to figure out where she's playing each night.
Oh, well, I asked them where they have seen her play most, or know about this, how to figure out where she plays.
So some of the patrons mention that she's known to play regularly at a theater. Tickets are extremely hard to come by, which is one of the reasons why it kind of turns into a game when she plays at
which
the various
theater?
taverns. They're pretty quick to mention that it's a theater called the Mulberry Theater.
Okay. Do I know where it is?
No, you do not.
Well, I ask about where that theater is. Because I would be interested in seeing her sing myself.
They give you some general directions. You believe it would be somewhere in this area here. So they say it's by the apothecary shop, which generally when people say that, I believe it's 82 or 63. They're talking about one of those two. Both of them are apothecary shops.
Okay. Well, I thank them for their information and order them a drink.
Oh, they are quite pleased with that. It'll cost you 5 copper pieces.
Okay.
Get a couple drinks for those guys. All right, and you meet back up with Sinray and exchange information?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I think our next course of action should be try to find this Mulberry Theater.
That would be reasonable. But of course we should meet with the company.
This is true. So I'm not used to working with others, but you are correct. We should meet up with the others and let them know what we found out.
Yes.
Okay, so you return back to Higgimus's shop.
Yes.
Everyone kind of arrives there at roughly the same time. You exchange your information and decide on your next course of action.
All right, so you're saying that we need to go to this Mulberry Theater place?
Well, if we want to find the Silverhair, that's the place she will most likely be. But I hear the ticket prices are quite high.
Interestingly enough, the last time she also played at the Fortune's Prisoner was about 8 days ago when Eucurian disappeared.
Yusian.
Yusian. There might not be any connection, but it's highly suspicious.
Is there any sort of like lunar cycles on Bral?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going down the same route of thought that I was thinking.
Yeah.
Do any of us know anything about lycanthropy?
Not really.
Not my specialty.
No.
All right, so
hang on.
No.
Somebody bought silver weapons. Which one of you was it?
Okay. Yeah.
I have them.
I have a silver weapon.
Well, it was those special weapons from that place we went through.
Had a special silver alloy, didn't it?
Yeah.
So-
We
Silver
met
steel.
with a trader on our way to somewhere else that sold us silver weapons.
Yeah, it was silver steel or something.
Yeah.
From waste space.
Yeah, we met a merchant from Waste Base.
Have you got those with you?
On the ship.
I have an axe.
Generally, magic weapons are known to hit lycanthropes.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
this is this an idea we have in character or just as players?
Well, I'm just thinking our only witness described being eaten by some sort of monsters. It's just a crazy theory I've got at the moment.
No, I was wondering if I could do an information gathering on lycanthropes then.
You could, but yeah, I mean, this is definitely something that, you know, if you as players are, you know,
Yes.
thinking this, then
I mean,
you
the
as
spirit
characters can
didn't.
think this too.
I
The
thought this was
spirit-
character
spirit-
contact.
Spirit didn't really specify what kind of monster.
I'm
Only
just
that-
wondering.
Only that it had teeth.
I'm just wondering if Silverhair and her companions were some sort of lycanthropes, which they may well not be at all. Might be a complete red herring. But if they were, they might be picking up someone in pubs and taking them somewhere and then eating them.
That wouldn't be the most outlandish thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I've heard of lycanthropes being affected by moons, but we don't have a moon on Bral, so I don't know how it would work up here.
Well, I do have some sources I could check that might give us some information.
Yeah.
But
I'm
it's,
just thinking
it's
if
not
any
a
of us-
sure thing.
I'm just thinking if any of us have got anything that protects against lycanthropy, we might want to make sure we've got it with us, just in case.
Well, I mean, if you have ideas on what that might be, it's pretty common knowledge that supposedly Wolfsbane and Belladonna work, but at the same time, it's also common knowledge that those may not work against all lycanthropes, and you know, whether that you know, exactly what the method of operation of that varies. Some people say just, you know, wear it around your neck. Oh, you have to eat it. Oh, rub it in the wounds. You know, there's, you know, all that kind of goes. But it's pretty common knowledge that Belladonna and Wolfsbane.
Eating belladonna.
Would I?
I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah.
Would I? Yeah, that's usually fatal. Would I know of the? Because I know my spells intimately, and I would know the higher level effects of them.
Yeah.
Like it can cure lycanthropy if it's cast by a very high level priest.
You mean cure disease?
So I would. Yeah. So I would say you would have 3 days to go to a priest before you turn.
Yeah, I mean, you know the effects of your spells.
So yeah, no, I would say that generally, just passing the information on so the characters know.
That information is in the spell description, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if it's
When
in the
cast
spell
by a
description.
priest of at least 12th level, the spell cures lycanthropy.
Okay.
If cast within 3 days of the infection.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say to the party, you know, if it is werewolves, if you get bitten, well, you've got like 3 days to find a priest.
Right. So, didn't someone say that the Giff killed a monster and it was jettisoned?
Yes.
So, maybe that was someone that got bit by a werewolf?
That was over a month ago, though. Way before all this stuff started happening.
Well, maybe they've been more careful to kill their victims this time. And they got
Oh
slaughtered.
my goodness, that was a month ago. And these things have been how long ago? More recent stuff?
Within the last couple weeks, give or take.
It would still be worth getting a more thorough description of the monster.
Hang on a minute. You said that was a month ago. Aren't moons normally a month apart? Lafdul, you live on a grounding world.
Yeah.
How do moons work?
Which explanation do you want?
Well,
I would know, because actually my character probably would know, because his religion does evolve around eclipses. So I could give a description to that effect of how often a month. They're usually a couple of weeks apart, I think, not months.
No, a month is literally from moon.
Is it?
Yeah.
So it's a couple of weeks.
You know that a month on your world is based on the rotation of its moon, and there's a lot of. I mean, some places have lots of moons, some places don't have any moons, but you would. Whoa.
Oh.
Okay.
Someone's mic died.
Yeah, maybe.
Or fell off the table.
You'd know that, you know that a month in standard, Spelljammer time is based on the common cycle of the primary moons of a number of the major worlds that that are major trading sites. So Oerth, Faerun, or Toril, and I can't remember what the main planet of Great Space is, but those are among the ones that have month-long lunar orbits.
I think it's Thelasis.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'd have to look it up.
But I'd probably pronounce it wrong.
Doesn't matter. But the point is that there's kind of like a cosmic coincidence that may not be a coincidence depending on who's talking, that moons take a month long to orbit on a lot of worlds.
I'm sure the religion of Ptah would say that Ptah created the month.
Sure. Yeah.
I think almost any religion would say that their god created things.
Yeah,
Well,
but
depends on the
Ptah is more pushy.
Well, his Spelljammer faithful are. I think Leva may not have muted herself when she stepped away.
Yes. Sorry about that.
It's okay. So, yeah, I mean, you know that lunar cycles are a month long, give or take. But
So I wonder if it's... Sorry.
No, but go ahead.
I wonder if it's worth going and seeking out those Giff that attack the creature.
You can try.
I think
Because if it is our creature...
or one of the creatures.
Yeah.
All
Or
right.
if it's someone that was infected with lycanthropy.
Well, that sounds like a job for Higgimus.
Yep. How would I go about tracking those people down normally? Would that just be go to the commander? Or...
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Wouldn't they get a commendation for attacking large beasts with teeth?
They would at least.
believe-
It would at least be on their record.
I think he said something about killing him when I talked to him about getting some sort of medal or something that they got a medal.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but yeah, I mean, it would have gone on their record. So not necessarily a medal, but not necessarily a commendation, but it would definitely be in their service record.
You said we needed some more gifting.
All right, so anyone else want to go with Higgimus?
No, I'm actually going to tell everybody I'm going to head to the Library of Spheres and do a little bit of digging on lycanthropy.
Well, that sounds like Solus's area of expertise too.
Indeed, and that is what I'm going to be doing.
Okay, so you two go there. Anyone else want to go to the Library of the Spheres? All right, so is everyone else going with Higgimus, or is anyone staying behind?
I'll go with Higgimus.
staying behind.
Okay.
I'll go with Higgimus.
Okay.
Same.
All right. So you guys go to Giff Town and find one of the commander's adjutants, who greets you in his office. Oh yes, Corporal Higgimus, how's it going?
Sir, well, sir.
Good, good, good. Ah, you got some of your small friends with you. That's good.
Yes. They're helping me with an investigation I'm doing of missing people, sir.
Ah, good work, good work. These small folk always need our help for pretty much everything. What could I do for you, Corporal?
Sir, we're wondering if you might have the location of the Giff that killed that strange monster about a month back in Bral.
Well,
what was it?
Shoutown.
In Shoutown.
Ah, yes. Let me flip through that. I don't remember exactly who that was. Looks like that was Turgood. All right. Yeah. I'll give you.
Haven't we met Turgood before?
Yeah, you might have. Does that name sound familiar?
Was that the name of the one, the gift that we took down in the caverns with us?
Maybe.
Sounds like
Yes, it was.
No, okay.
So he gives you current...
Corporal Turgood.
Yep. He gives you the billet for Turgood and his squad.
Excellent.
Yeah, he was a dark-skinned Giff.
Thank you, sir.
Yep, no problem. Are you hunting? You think there's more of these creatures around?
I think that might be one of the things that is killing awful, or might be linked to all these disappearings that we see.
Well, if it is, and you should find the source and eliminate it, well, that would be quite the good deed for your service record. Know what I mean?
When he says that, my ear tufts perk up a little bit and said, "Yes, sir." And I'll salute.
Was there
head
someone
on up.
else that was going to ask a question?
Yeah, Braxon says, "Forgive me for asking. Is Corporal Turgood still hanging around with Trooper Quarried, Trooper Urgin, and Trooper Randolph?"
Yes, I believe they are still under him.
Very good people. They were very helpful.
Oh, you met them before.
Very good gift.
Yes,
They helped us.
They have excellent.
They helped
service
us in the
records.
Underbrow.
They have excellent service records. I hope they can help you in your current assignment.
Very brave Giff.
I'll
I'd highly recommend them to anyone needing Giff mercenaries.
Well, I'll keep you in mind for referrals. All right, so you head to where they are billeted, and Corporal Turgood still slightly outranks you in the grand scheme of things, Higgimus, but it's near enough that you wouldn't necessarily need to call him sir.
Okay.
Higgimus, it's been a while. How have you been doing?
Doing well. Going places, killing monsters. It's been great.
Well, we were just about to sit down to some tea. How would you like some?
Oh, yes. Mind if my friends here join us?
Oh, sure.
Braxton's going to salute him. Say, nice to see you again, Corporal Turgood.
He gives you a salute as well. It's not as stiff and formal as the one that he gives Higgimus. Because, you're not Giff. Now, what is this visit about? You need our assistance in another madcap adventure?
Perhaps some information. See, we're on an investigation about all these missing people that the small folk are having problems with.
It's so easy to misplace them.
It is, isn't it? Anyway, we were told that you valiantly slayed a monster in Showtown about last month.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was wondering if you had any more information about that.
Oh, it was quite a fight. Went through at least 3 rounds of smoke powder with myself and I think 1 or 2 with most of my men. I had to resort to melee weapons after that. Got some good maces though. It went down pretty quick after that.
Tough creature indeed.
Oh, and it smelled something awful.
Smelled bad.
Like the dead.
Can you describe what it looked like?
Yeah. Never seen anything like it. You ever seen a creature after it's been roasted by a dragon or had its skin torn off by a gnomish mishap?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Similar to that. Generally a round face, big, wide mouth filled with sharp teeth. Its eyes were like bulbous, just like sticking out and enormous. Never seen anything like it. Probably used to the dark. It was night at the time. It was 7 feet tall, maybe 8, something like that.
Almost as tall as us.
Yes. Pretty gangly though, not good stout Giff material. Had long claws, 3 or 4 inches long, I'd say. Good for rending. Quard still has some scars. Quard happily shows off his bicep, which you can clearly see 4 long healing marks on his arm. They look pretty deep. They look like they had to have stitches.
I nod proudly, I guess would be the word, maybe.
Yeah,
like,
I mean that's he survived it, and it's a mark of
approvingly, I guess. That's bad indeed. You said it was nighttime.
Yeah. So we were down in Showtown. There was a little restaurant that makes a nice mixture of tea and ale, which you should try it sometime if you haven't.
I'll give it a shot.
And we'd been having quite a good time. We finished up a mission not too long ago. Spending some of our bonus pay. And they were closing up, so we were going home, laughing about our campaigns together. And just the wall right in front of us just almost exploded out. And this creature came out, just like, had an ear-piercing shriek, almost like a child's scream. Ugh, man. Probably little folk like these here would run off to their mamas or something when they heard it. But Giff aren't scared by such things.
I'd stab it with my sword if I saw it.
Yes, sure you would. So, I mean, it was clearly a menace. There were a couple other people in the, some humans out on the street, and, well, I mean, they ran just like I described.
You're by a tavern, right?
Well, let's see. I mean, we were maybe a block away at the time.
Do you recall if it had any remnants of clothes on this creature? I'm wondering if someone had transformed a person.
No, I don't think it had any clothes. He looks to the other troopers, and they all nod their head, shake their heads. No. No. It was pretty much just naked. No hair though.
Right.
No dangly bits though. So, as I was saying, so it just kind of like burst out of this wall, and the building that it came out of gave some, a mighty rumble, and then collapsed. Probably took out a load-bearing wall, maybe a couple inside. I don't know. Don't know what that building was for, but it just was screeching and screaming and came right for us. Well, we defended ourselves, and good people of Bral, of course, who I might add were running away. Yeah, being humans and all.
Yeah.
Well,
Do
he then
you,
goes into you know, like kind of a detailed blow by blow story of the fight itself. You know, describing in detail the wound that Quarad took, and it's fascinating to you, Higgimus. Probably boring to everyone else.
Braxon's interested in the wound the Quarry's got.
Okay.
Do we have anything to write on?
Probably
Yep.
not.
I'm wondering if Braxton could take some sort of measurements of how far apart the claws are.
Not right here. I mean, you could like mentally compare it to Higgimus's bicep later.
Yeah.
But when he finishes his retelling, yeah, he looks at you, Higgimus, and says, "Oh, no, that was about it. I believe they, you know, the watch came by pretty quick, hearing the building collapse, and they carted off that thing. Oh man, I think at least 3 of those watchmen just lost their meals right there on the street. Heard they took it pretty quickly to the jettison. It got launched out into space."
Did it look like its wounds were healing or anything when you hit it?
No, don't think so.
Mm.
It bled pretty quickly, pretty well. Its blood was like purple.
Purple?
Yeah, very strange.
Purple blood. So, did it have claws on its feet?
Yeah, but it didn't use them.
Mm-hmm.
What was the address? Do you have the address that of the building you came out of?
He isn't sure exactly where it was, but he would, from the description, from the location that he believes, it was probably somewhere in here. Let me see what 144, what tavern that is, because that might have been where they were. No, that would not be where he was. No, it's just a little pop-up tavern. He says that they think they closed after that.
Right.
But down in that area?
Yeah. I mean, this section here is strictly Shao Town, but there are some Shao that live, you know, out in these sections too.
Right.
Might be worth a look there.
Might
the
be,
building.
Yeah, it might. Ooh. That's not too far from the leading jettison.
Nope.
No. I'll ask. Do the rest of you have any questions?
Well, we know that person we spoke to recently, after they died, was murdered by something with gnashing teeth. Did this thing attack you with teeth or just its claws?
I mean, it definitely looked like it could have done some nasty work with those teeth, but didn't really have a snout, so it was mostly just flailing. Didn't seem like it was very skilled at battle. It was just, you know, like mean and nasty and flailing.
Yeah.
Hard to get in close without taking some cuts.
Must have been quite tough to have got a scratch on Trooper Quarry there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, that's
Yeah, I imagine it would probably pretty easily take off the head of one of you little folk.
yeah. I'll try to duck if it comes after me. Yeah, we think there's a possibility there's another one of these around. It might not be the same thing.
Yeah, could be.
But someone's been murdered by something.
I mean, it had to come from somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that creature must have come from somewhere, and someone else has been murdered by some sort of creature. Might be a completely different creature. But we thought we'd check in with you because you're reliable people.
I'll get far.
You know, I would be interested in testing my metal against yours.
Oh, I don't know. I'd be worried about hurting you.
I've fought against a dragon.
Oh, have you now? Well, I mean that's good for you. Fought two. Admittedly, one was small, but still two.
I've sparred with Ockar before. You know, if
A paladin of Tyr.
if you're going to spar with them, you should maybe a wager of a charge of smoke powder.
Sure.
Where are you getting the smoke powder? Higgimus?
Well, you'd have to buy it.
I'll buy it.
Well, unfortunately, we're due to be shipping out on another mission in just a couple days. But I'd be happy to take you up on that when we get back.
Sounds like a plan.
Do you guys have any other questions for the Giff?
Nah.
Not at the moment, and you're going to ship out soon. Thank you very much for your help. It's been great seeing you again.
It's been great seeing you again, too. It's nice to see Higgimus advance into the ranks as well.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so you take your leave and return to your shop?
Oh, Braxon will say good luck with your mission.
Thank you, and good luck with your search for the missing small folk.
Yep.
Lafdul,
right.
you were staying behind. Was there anything in particular that you were doing?
Not really. I'm just mooching around at the reception, I guess. Higgimus' reception.
Okay.
Well, I might be buying, looking around for potential places to buy food for the L2.
Most places are closed at this point.
Oh yeah, I'm not buying. I'm just looking for tomorrow where to go, like planning out.
Tons of places.
Wow.
There's lots.
Well, maybe
lots of places.
Seeing if there's any news or something, rumors, talk, people talking about while looking around. I guess.
Not a whole lot new. Most of the stuff you've heard so far. Are you mostly doing this down here around Higgimus' shop?
Around Higgimus' shop, yeah, pretty much.
Okay. You do hear that Xenotermination's main squads returned recently after a rather long trip to eliminate some gammaroids in a distant sphere.
What?
Yeah, they took out some gammaroids. That's
Wow.
what they get. That's what they get hired for. They took a lot of casualties, but they did it.
Mm.
So they've got a big recruiting drive going on at the moment.
So where are those again?
Xenotermination or gammaroids?
No, gammaroids.
Gammaroids are giant turtles, space turtles.
Yeah.
Ah, there you guys go. I didn't know if everybody knew what those were.
Giant space turtles. They're full of turtle meat.
Yeah, they're made of meat. And I hear they're quite neat.
Are they bigger than a dragon turtle?
A little bit. A little bit.
Should go kill one of those.
Yeah, sure.
I believe they're the size of spelljamming ships or bigger.
I think they're bigger. Yeah, they're like Bral sized. But yeah, that's what that's one of the things that you hear. Otherwise, most of the stuff that you hear is same things that you've heard before about missing people. There are people talking about the singer.
Oh, silver hair.
Yeah, Levalithana silver hair. It sounds like she was playing at the Rusty Axe tonight, but you've probably missed her show.
No, but even if we missed her show, that's still good information. We could just go there.
Yep.
It's fresh in people's minds.
Yep. And
Let's see if anyone goes missing from it.
unfortunately, Kijikun had something come up and had to leave early.
Yeah.
But Solus, so you two are at the library. I guess I'll have you get information if I'll speak with her after the session and see if there's anything specific that she got, and if it's different from what you got, then we can fill in the party later.
Okay.
So what kind of information are you going to be looking for?
Well, since I'm not completely convinced that it was lycanthropes, since the spirit didn't describe it that well, the monster, I will be looking up information about monsters that eat humans or sentient beings and live underground.
That is an incredibly large list.
That is, but that is why I'm going to be asking my friends who know more about this. So what would be the most likely case?
Well, most of them aren't like experts in monsters, and you don't really get very... I mean, you get a lot of suggestions, but, you know, none of them seem any more likely or less likely than lycanthropes.
Okay.
I mean, unless you have a specific idea. I mean, you're not totally convinced that it's a lycanthrope. So is there a specific type of creature that you want to take do some research on?
Just a moment. Well, monsters that live underground mostly.
But you don't have a specific monster in mind?
No, because, well, I don't have that much monster lore.
Okay. Well, is there anything specific? I mean, as you know, other people have suggested lycanthropes. Or is there any information that you want to get about them?
Well, I could check how to combat them most effectively, and is it possible to be cured of it later than the 3 days?
You find some vague information about curing after 3 days. It's definitely possible, but it's much more difficult. And the information that you're able to find in just a short evening's search is not terribly helpful. It does give you starting positions. But
yeah, I will be continuing this research later on.
Yeah. As for combating them, the common stuff about that everyone knows, silver weapons or magical weapons are basically absolutely necessary. They also you find some varied sources on Wolfsbane and Belladonna, recommending a variety of uses. Some suggest coating the weapons in it. Some again say wear it around the neck. Some say wear it in the hair. There's, again, not terribly concrete information in that. No one source basically says, I did it this way and it definitely works. Everyone should do it this way, kind of thing.
Okay. Of course, I'm going to be using my lens of speed reading for this.
Yeah.
Should I throw the research? Since I have the research proficiency, that is when I'm searching information in libraries and such.
Yeah, go ahead and roll that. Less than 170. Oh, I think there's a error. Is it plus?
Well, it's 17.
Yeah. So it's
Plus
probably just a.
0.
Is it just a 0 or is it plus minus? I mean, is there a plus 0?
If I remember correctly, it was just the intelligence.
Right, but no, I mean in the on the character sheet. Because I think
in the sheet it's the plus minus 0 automatically.
Yeah, but I think it's adding the 0 on there. Just put a plus in front of the 0. And that should fix it for next time.
Okay.
So it's not rolling against 170.
Yeah. But it's a success anyway.
Yep. All right. So yeah, I mean, I'll you get that kind of information if there's something specific that you want, like a preparation method for Belladonna or Wolfsbane. You might have that now,
Okay.
but you'd have to get some of that material.
Well, the information is the most important in this situation.
Braxon, you'd probably be waiting at the shop for Solus and Sinray to return.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fair enough.
Was there any other specific information that you would be looking for, Solus?
Not at the moment, but I leave a request for my friends to look up on those subjects I mentioned.
Okay. They will do so as time permits. Alright, so you then return to the rest of the party?
Yeah, and tell them about the preliminary research and that I left a request for more research on these subjects.
Okay. Sinray will give the information that she discovers as well. I'll have to get with her to find that out. Okay. So it's getting late-ish at this point. Is there anything anyone wants to do this evening, or what?
Well, Braxon wants to talk to Solus and Sinri about the wounds on Trooper Quarry's arm, and the height of the beast. So he'll borrow Higgimus's arm and kind of sort of draw on the claw marks with his fingers, not with a pen.
I'll say I want to pick up a couple things from the ship first before I head back to the office.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just want to pick up my silver steel weapons.
All right.
Yeah, that'd
all
be
of
good.
them?
You've got magical weapons.
Because you've got a.
I do.
You got a pole arm, right?
Yeah, I'll see exactly.
Really awkward to carry.
Well, should we? Yeah, you two. Do you have magic weapons?
Oh, that's the point.
Because if they don't, maybe you could lend them a silvered weapon.
I do not have a magic weapon, but I have magic.
That'll probably work.
What
I have
can you fight
a
with?
glaive and a dagger and a Lucerne hammer.
I can loan. I can loan somebody.
I only know how to use a sling and a staff.
Right.
Well, he's got magic, so
I could loan Casey my magic saber.
We got a spear.
You can make that. You can suggest that next time.
Anyone can use that.
I mean, next session when she's here.
Yeah.
I can ask her over the week too.
Yeah, but I mean, it's better to roleplay it out. Make the suggestion in character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
I don't use any bladed weapons.
Right.
My religion forbids.
Can you use clubs and stuff?
Everyone can use clubs.
Yeah, I can use, but I'm not good with them.
Right. I could maybe let you.
But like I said, I have magics.
Yeah.
And I can fight with them.
So I could lend you Age's burden if you'd have to try not to throw it across the room though.
You have a hard enough trouble with that.
it's cursed.
It's not cursed, but it does seem to fly across the room a lot.
Cursed in a good way, maybe.
Maybe it's a failed hammer of throwing.
Maybe.
It always wants to be thrown. All right. So, any other information that you guys want to talk about, discuss, plans, anything that you want to do in the evening?
I would mention that.
Hold on. Hold on. Lafdul, you were first.
I was just going to mention that place that I overheard rumors.
A pub.
The Rusty Axe.
Tavern. Yeah.
All right.
Let's go there then.
Because it's fairly recent. like hours, like maybe an hour or two ago. People, it'll be fresh in their minds.
Anyone
Let's
else
go there, then.
have anything that they want to bring up before that happens?
Well, I'll make notes about the description of the monster and whatever else descriptions the Braxon can give me from what he heard from the gifts.
All right, so you'll get the same information that I gave them in the game, so it's
Yeah, and I mark it down for me so I can research about it later or give it to my friend to research.
Okay.
I would suggest that we go quickly to this pub that Lafdul got information about, and if that pans out, we could maybe spread into small groups and do a pub crawl, checking out various inns, but we want to find a way to meet up with each other if we find any of them.
Okay, so you head up to 87, the Rusty Axe. Helps if I'm on the right tool.
That's not that far away, then.
There we go.
Nope.
Oh, it's in Lamp Street near Hammer Street.
It's also very close to the Dwarven District. It definitely does have a Dwarven clientele, but there's a fair number of humans as well. No elves that you can see. There's some gnomes and halflings as well. And as you arrive, there is a gnomish knife juggler performing. But the crowd doesn't really seem all that into it. Overhearing some, like eavesdropping on some conversations, most people are talking about the elven singer who was there.
That knife juggler.
Mhm.
Oh, could I subtly knock one of his knives out of alignment with my ring of telekinesis?
Not really, because it's pretty obvious when you use the ring.
It'd be a shame if that would have an unfortunate accident.
That other juggler wasn't a gnome, was it?
There was
No.
Okay.
Or half elf, I can't remember which. I think that was half elf.
Do you want to actually get into any conversations
General inquiries about the recent performance.
with...
Descriptions, how they looked, what instruments they used, what they performed.
So, she was accompanied by two clean-shaven humans.
Oh, they're clean shaves.
Um,
Do any of the patrons recognize them as her regular entourage, I guess?
This is the first time she's performed here, and
so no one knows.
So there were some regulars, a number of the humans. So one they think was someone that she's performed with before, but the other one they think might be new. She was accompanied by a flute and a harp. But mostly what people are talking about was the singing itself, which was just, incredibly beautiful singing.
So the flute guy's new, but the harp guy's the same guy, so we suspect.
They didn't get names.
No,
it's people though.
Yeah. Oh. Someone. No one knows their names.
They were kind of focusing on the singer herself.
Yeah, but after people normally give cheers to the so-and-so and so-and-so performance. All the actors.
She doesn't seem to, when she basically would come in and sing, and then as soon as she was done, she was gone, would leave. And, take the money that was left
can I cast
for her and stuff like that?
Is there a Is there a restroom?
There is. Yeah, there's a latrine.
Because I want to cast Detect Magic.
Okay, so you go into the latrine and cast
Yeah.
Detect Magic.
Come back out. I want to see if there's magic traces in here. Because it's fairly recent.
You are not detecting any magic other than what's on yourself. There's a couple people who have some magic radiating from them, like items on their person and stuff like that. You know, like one person with a sword. There's a dwarf with an axe. Both of those are magic. A couple people with rings or amulets.
So that dwarf with the +5 axe that, you know, we just casually messing the puppet will tell us 2 years down the line.
Maybe.
So I'm wondering if one of these guys shaved his beard off, or if she's eating her musicians and replacing them with others.
Could be. Isn't that like a siren thing? Actually, could she be a siren?
She could be.
Because isn't that what they normally do? They enthrall.
I mean, there's lots of stories about sirens. You don't know concrete.
Hey, Solus, could you do research on sirens?
Go back to the library for us, please.
No. I'm just giving him like subject material for him to research because he likes researching.
Could be. It's
That is true.
Consider.
Sirens tend to have sharp, pointy teeth.
When they're really, really hungry.
Not Dungeons and Dragons sirens. They have pretty normal teeth. Since you had to step away and you're back, let's rewind slightly for Sinray. What kinds of things were you looking up in the at the library?
I would be looking for particular lycanthropy that has to do with how it's affected when there's not an actual moon cycle, and more generally just lycanthropy books, possibly talking to the librarians to see if they have any leads on that.
The best information that you can come across is that there are some theories that lycanthropes kind of carry their lunar cycle with them if they were infected on a planet with a moon.
Okay.
So
I'd
the
be
cycle
looking for information about ones that possibly were infected in a place without a cycle with the moon.
There's less information about that, and the best guesses that the information that you come across has is that they get a cycle that is just regular. So it may be 20 days, it may be 44 days. That's the best guess that they have, but there isn't any concrete information about it.
Any information about what they would look like in their non-transformed form, or would they just look normal?
There doesn't seem to be any difference between groundling lycanthropes and spaceborne lycanthropes in terms of their appearance.
Okay.
If that's what you were asking.
I was wondering, like, when they're in the form that's not a werewolf, would they have would they have anything telltale?
Would they smell of wet fur?
Would they have hair on the back of their hands or something?
Wouldn't they just look normal?
There's a lot of superstition about it, but nothing concrete. And most of the superstition you recognize as fairly just superstition kind of thing. You know, old wives' tales and stuff like that, as opposed to actual concrete information.
All right.
The general consensus seems to be that in human form, they may have some traits like some might be overly aggressive, some might be larger than normal, some might be hairier than normal, but nothing that falls outside of the normal range for their original race.
If there's a librarian around, I'm going to ask if there's been any cases of lycanthropy in the last few years.
None that they're aware of.
In the city. Okay.
Lycanthropes, in part because of the lack of a moon, they and just the I mean, when you're on a ship that takes a couple months to get from place to place, it's usually pretty obvious that someone is a lycanthrope. Like it comes up, and it gets taken care of. So,
unless they're all werewolves.
Well, it's pretty rare for an infected lycanthrope to be able to travel from planet to planet. True lycanthropes who aren't governed by the phases of the moon don't have that problem, but they also tend to stay where the hunting is good, and hunting on a ship is not very good.
I'd reckon
Alright.
basically the most likelihood of how lycanthrope would appear in Bral would be someone who would be cursed by something to become a lycanthrope.
Yeah,
Someone that offended a werewolf god.
yeah, probably wouldn't. I'd share that information when we did the sharing. That's the likelihood of, like, as Sola says, the likelihood of it being a infected or natural lycanthrope
Right.
is not really a possibility. Might be, but extremely unlikely.
So, lycanthropy might be a red herring.
It might be a red herring. It might be a curse, or Silverhair herself is a red herring.
Yeah. Maybe. I'm just wondering why someone would be kidnapping people and maybe eating them.
I like the idea
they're
of the
hungry?
siren now, because they sing.
Yeah. But the thing is this creature Silverhair transformed, or are they keeping a creature on the ground?
Yeah, are they the creature, or are they the caretaker of the creature?
Yeah. Could someone perhaps be building up an army of creatures in the Underbrow and kidnapping people to transform them?
Or just having some strange experiments.
Yeah.
Or somebody feeding a loved one that had something unfortunate curse upon them.
Harold,
Mhm.
do I get any emanations when I go near the stage of where they performed?
No.
My detect magic.
Oh, Ockar.
He stepped away.
Okay.
So you gonna have him, what were you gonna have him do?
He's busy getting drunk.
What were you gonna ask him to do?
Just at that moment, he has the ability to detect evil intent, and I was just thinking, if we have someone who's going to pubs in order to seduce people into going with them so that they can feed them to an animal, that might show up as evil intent.
It might. But I mean, they're not here right now, so.
Oh yeah, they're not here right now, but
yeah, it's something to suggest for your next
Yeah.
steps. Was there
if we
any
get down
other
to doing a pub
information
crawl,
now that Sunray's back as well? For the last couple minutes, was there any information that you wanted to try to get out of the people in the pub?
Yes, I will find one of the barmaids, the bar wenches, who's serving people, and sip her 2 silver, and to talk to her, ask her if Silverhair tends to leave with anybody.
Well, so this is the first time that she's ever been to this pub, this tavern. And the barmaid tells you that she didn't notice anyone go with her that didn't come with her. So she thinks it was just the 2 musicians and the singer herself. She didn't notice anyone else. But at the same time, as soon as she left, there was a pretty big exodus of people. They lost like half the people who were here in the tavern at that point. After she left.
I'm going to ask her, was there anything unusual about her? Or about her voice? Something that seemed different from other musicians you've had?
The barmaid tells you that she's better than pretty much anyone else that she's ever experienced coming in here, and she was an elf, which is weird for this tavern.
In a dwarven tavern, yeah.
I mean, mostly dwarven.
What's...
I'll thank the barmaid for the information.
Okay.
I wanna... Hey, Lever. Talk to me. So you're causing a distraction. So I go over with Lever and to near where the stage is. I want to just pretend to talk to me to create like an overwhelming, not overwhelming, like making noise. So basically, when I cast a spell, she'll be talking over it.
What's the
try
intent?
that.
Thought capture. Variable
Okay.
and somatic. Components
Okay.
casting time of 3.
Okay.
Oh, you
Let's do
tried to
that.
build up a conversation for a few minutes before doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you cast Thought Capture. And do you only get one thought, or what?
I think so.
Alright, let me see. Alright, Thought Capture.
I was actually meant to use this spell earlier, and without you was completely forgot to use it then.
Well, now you have it. One thought object per casting of the spell. So yeah.
There's a chance I might get some.
The thought that you pick up is an overwhelming sense of amazement of just how amazing this musician is. The singing is fantastic. It's the most beautiful song the thinker of this thought has ever heard. Just general, like additional emotions of being impressed by the music.
So this is the best music they've ever heard.
Yeah. Any other information? I mean, it's about time to wrap up the session, so
Yeah.
I'd rather
That's fun. I was just
wrap us
using
up on a this is
Oh.
what we're gonna do next. Yes.
Oh,
Ockar.
can I look around with my detect evil intent to see if I notice anything?
You can.
So that's what I'm doing.
You
You have to go
concentrate,
person to person.
and you do not detect any evil intent here at the moment. You get a couple twinges with a couple of the people, but nothing substantial.
Did anyone actually pay attention what the song was about?
So asking around, she sang a few songs.
You have a theme to them.
No obvious theme. 2 were in Elvish and 1 was in Common. And you don't find anyone who knew enough Elvish to know what it was, what the 2 were. But they were. One seemed like like based on the tenor of the music and the voice. It was like an operatic love song.
Mm-hmm.
Another one was maybe a funeral song, but not like a dirge. So it was like they felt it was like celebrating the life of someone. And the one in Common was a pretty upbeat song. Had kind of a slight comic tale going on through it, but it was a pretty common theme. In fact, it was, a couple people said that they've heard the song before, but they'd never heard it performed so well.
Okay.
And at least one person has heard one of those elven songs before, but they still didn't know what it was. They just heard it at another tavern. It was not sang nearly as well, or maybe a playhouse or something like that.
I wonder if she could use one of these songs to cast magic on someone and make them want to go somewhere.
I've got to smell it similar.
Yeah, because I'm thinking if she could cast a spell on an audience and try and get someone to go to a particular place. We're assuming she's.
That's why I used my detect magic in order to pick up traces of magic, but I might have been too late.
I'd like to go and see her, listen to her again.
What, and then have a song sung to you that you can't understand?
No, Leva could, for one thing, she could cast ESP to see how how she is herself, and then she can, when the singer leaves, we can follow her via Wizard Eye.
Well, she's gone somewhere else. You think we could rush off and see if we can find her in a nearby tavern?
Yeah, let's do that.
She's only known to go to one tavern at night per night.
Yeah, I think the most likely place she would be next would be the Mulberry Theatre.
Do you want to ask some people about that theater?
I will ask about it.
Okay. You're able to find some people who saw her play there last night.
Okay.
So they expect her to be there again in 2 nights.
Oh, right.
Can they tell me how much the tickets are?
They tell you that the tickets are not actually all that expensive. They're pretty expensive now. The theater itself usually only charges 5 coppers, but now they've taken the price up to 4 silvers. Because so many people have been trying to get there. The problem is that they sell out really fast.
Okay.
And curious question: how many of the people that went missing have musical abilities?
It's really hard to say. I mean,
all right.
Most of the people, most people play a little bit. Play with their family kind of thing. Play a fiddle or play a flute or a whistle or something like that. Most big families have a little family band that plays together for evening meals or celebrations. So everyone has maybe about half the people have some talent, but most of them would not be considered truly skilled.
All right.
Would any of us know anything about the... It's a shame Yeldan isn't here. Anymore, because he's the only one that had a specialization in drow. Because I was thinking of the... what's the one?
Oh, you think she's a drow with makeup?
No, it's... because I was looking at the... It might be something to do with Alistri. She's a lady of dances. She's also got the name of Silverhair.
Right.
Dancing and singing and stuff like that. So maybe she might be a drow in disguise that's just performing. Because even though they're friendly drow, they're still they can't appear as friendly. They'll just be shoved out of town.
Well, that would mean she wouldn't be killing anyone.
Yeah. Well, this could all be a red herring.
Yes,
yeah, it could all be a red herring.
But it would be easier to find out if we could actually talk to the woman.
All right. Well, what are you thinking of for your plans for either the rest of the evening, or do you guys want to head back and get sleep at this point?
If we got time to go to one more tavern, we should go to one more tavern.
It's probably 10 p.m. now.
What tavern was left?
Taverns tend to be open late.
Have you already tried going to the Mulberry Theater and talking to the management?
Ah, so you're asking someone about the location of the Mulberry Theater since you weren't able to get it last time.
Yes.
Yeah, the exact location would be nice.
All right, you do find someone who is able to give you directions to the Mulberry Theater, and it is this yellow building here. Let me go ahead and...
I'm waiting for the...
B1.
Okay.
I didn't move.
Oh,
You didn't move?
I see. It's right above
No.
the grey market.
Me...
Ah,
There you
right.
Where's
B1.
my Thieves Guild?
go. Not terribly close.
Oh, at the end of the near the dog leg of Man of War Street.
Yeah, so that's... do you want to, like, head over there? Like, is that your next plan? Head over there, see what you want to do, or do you want to head to another tavern?
That would be my next plan, is going to the Mulberry Theater, since the people that are going to know the most about her would be the people that are putting on her shows on a regular basis.
Mm.
We shouldn't go under the guise of investigators, but rather as the guise of
Can we buy tickets?
yeah.
Yeah.
Come
Buy
up with a
ticket-
cover story. We're just patrons. We want to listen to our music.
Sinray will suggest I could also pose as wanting to accompany her. I do have a little bit of skill in flute playing.
Okay.
Well, you could always audition in there.
Okay, so when we come back next week, I mean, I didn't hear any objections. No one said they specifically thought that was a bad idea.
No.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
All right. So
Well,
next
it's the most,
next session, heading over there to see what information you can find out. All right. So experience points. Let me start totaling this up.
Yay, the fun part for me.
Ooh,
You get to do 2 lots of XP.
Yeah, but it's such a pain.
Okay, that is going to be 600 for Braxon,
Mhm.
500 for Higgimus, 200 for Ockar,
400?
200,
No.
200 for Leva, 800 for Lafdul,
Oh, 800.
and 400 for Solus and Sinray.
do I divide that?
So that's
Okay.
half of that to each of your classes. And if you have 10% bonus in only one of those classes, then only one of those classes gets a 10% bonus.
Welcome to my world.
That's why I never multi-class.
That's
Oh,
fine.
multiclass is-
Once, I mean, really, once you get past first level, you level up at about the same rate.
I don't know why I'm doing 10% of 400. It's just 40. I'm using a calculator for like just work these out in your head sometimes.
Now, I don't think that is enough yet to level up Solus or Sinray, correct?
No.
No, should not be.
Okay. Because I do know that since you are lower level, you will be leveling up substantially faster over the next few sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If we-
one combat, no level up.
one combat with the way that you guys have been doing. Now, keep in mind that if you ever get enough that would actually level you up 2 levels, you're at 1 point less than you need to go to the next level. You lose that excess. Because you can only level up 1 level per session.
Never knew.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, you would always be one less.
It's not so much of a problem if you're not doing the training rules. If you're doing the training rules, that can be really bad if you're like away from a town that can train you for like days and days and fights and fights and fights. So it's also for new players who come in at low level to not just say, all right, coming in at first level, oh boom, one thing and I'm 5th level now. So.
I require about
I
1,500 for my other class.
Okay.
I remember that being a right pain in the Go Box games.
Yep.
I completely forgot about training.
Yep.
You had to go back to a tavern.
Yep.
The town.
All right. Well, thank you guys for playing. Thanks for the new players who've joined us. Welcome.
Yeah,
Welcome.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining
Thank you.
us.
And
You haven't died yet.
I'll work on that. And
Yeah, one's an elf. Give them an introductory fireball. Another death.
For you new players, you'll see that we're putting our XP in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
viewers
for
who
anyone
are...
following the game. See how much we've
Yeah.
It's
leveled
good
up.
for a backup in case something happens to your character sheet.
That too. Anyway, thank you guys for playing, and thanks everyone out there for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back next week as we see what the party can find out.
Yeah, will Lafdul go back in the O2 cave? Whatever you call it. Underwork.
Well, if my plan progresses as it is, then yes.
Lafdul's going to offer his tribute, as it were. Even though he doesn't need the pile anymore. Oh, well.
Exactly. See you next time, everyone.
Thanks for the game.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Thank